he was revealing too much. That's why I said Gil has a motor mouth. And he's an oversharer, because I don't feel like if Mirla was there, she would feel comfortable. She's already a prude.
Stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't.
Hey everybody, I am so glad you are tuning back with me for another interview. I know it's been 3 weeks, but I have a very good reason. I just got surgery. And well, not just got surgery, I had surgery. And before surgery, I had to prep for surgery. And I felt well enough, even though I'm not fully recovered. I felt well enough to go ahead and pick up where I left off with the Married at First Sight show. I'm sorry about the put a ring on it, not finishing that. I just, watching it, I really didn't have my heart into it. It was a good start off to the show, but then as the show continued on, it just didn't feel good to do. And then I started seeing stuff come out about Darren on the show. It was just a whole bunch of information that seemed extremely convoluted. So I want to fix my chair. Okay, that's better. But we're gonna keep this show on the road. And then my children started school. We're in a new district, and this is my son's first year. It's just been a whole lot going on. So I finally found the opportunity to do it while they're at school. And I feel like this is gonna be great because this is gonna help me stay consistent, because they'll be away during the week now, during the day. So as far as the surgery is concerned, that is something that I did document. I haven't quite yet put the videos together to edit and mash them all up. But it is something that I do want to share. If you go back to my vlog, and I'll put that vlog here about the health scare. I did mention that I was going to get surgery, just never when. And I don't know if you all can tell, but my appearance, it did change just a little bit outside of me not wearing makeup. So yeah, but anyways, so that's all the razzmatazz on that. So let's get to the review. So the way that I want to do this right now, since I'm just getting back to the swing of things and I'm not really, you know how I was on top of it with Ready to Love, scene by scene by scene. With Married at First Sight, it was a lot of scene jumping to where I just compiled each couple, you know. So and I'll do this for now until I can just, like I said, get back to the swing of things. It took a lot for me in the first place because I'm still in recovery. This has been a very tough situation. And yeah, so please, if you don't like it in this format, I'm sorry. If you're used to my old format, I get it, but this is what we're gonna have to do for now. So the couple that I was really liking in the beginning, and now I'm kind of my opinion is starting to change on that. Michaela and Zach. They get to Florida Keys because the couples are going to Florida, to the Keys. And Zach is saying that he doesn't feel well and that he doesn't want to expose her to anything because clearly, you know, this virus is still going around. We're not going to pretend like it's not happening. People are taking safety precautions. He's feeling sick and all these other things, and he thinks it's because of the lack of sleep he's been getting. But then he finds out that he tests positive for COVID, which sucks. Yes, it sucks because you're just married. You're about to go on vacation. I mean, you're going on vacation. You've already arrived to your honeymoon vacation spot. and you're sick and you can't be next to your spouse, and but the problem that I had was the way that Michaela initially responded. When she was basically throwing a tantrum, and from what I'm starting to pick up is she's a reactor. She doesn't wait to react. She doesn't think about it before she reacts. That's the way that it's displayed on the show. I don't like that that's how she does, because it makes her seem very immature. And since she is the eldest one in her relationship, she is going to have to display some type of maturity level, because sis, you're older, And when she said, "Oh, I bought all these outfits for you, and I got all this for you, and I'm about to be doing single shit, being single," and just the way she reacted, it was just like, why? Why are we doing this? I just didn't appreciate that reaction. And the fact that, when they told them they were going to have to be separated, and he was in his own, I guess they have their own personal cameras. When Zach was just like, "Oh, I'm going to have to find a way to make this up to her. I just hope she doesn't resent me for this." And I'm like, there is no way that he should feel like she's going to resent him because he got sick. That was something he had no control over. If he was taking the proper measurements to protect himself with this virus, we can't blame you for that. And the fact that he feels like she could possibly resent him because of how she reacted was bogus to me, because it's like, your initial response should have been, "You know what, this sucks, but you're my husband and I got you." You know what I'm saying? Like she told him when they were at the altar, "I got you." But she didn't do that, So it's just like, okay, Michaela, okay, girl. Because after all that, then it was, "I don't want to leave him. I miss him. That's my husband. I'm going to stick beside him." But you didn't do all of that to begin with, so it came off super confrontational. And you can have a reaction, you can be pissed off, you can be mad, all of that, but you can't make the other person be accountable for something that we don't have control over. That's not fair. So I already see this as kind of looking like a red flag, sis. I don't know, but the next close to nothing parts of the show was Brett and Ryan. I was already a bit concerned about Brett and Ryan because Brian, I meshed their names together. I'm good at doing that. But no, Brett already seemed to be more into this than Ryan, because remember I said he kind of seems like dead in the eyes, very monotone, like he doesn't seem present. And this episode, it really highlights that, because bruh, what are we doing here? Like, why doesn't he smile? You just got married, you're on honeymoon, you know what I'm saying? You got this beautiful lady with you, but clearly, that's not his typical type. But still, she's charismatic, she's witty, she's funny. I actually like Brett. She's very flexible in, her life when it comes to Ryan. And it's just like, brother, what are we doing? But to me, given where this honeymoon is starting off, it's looking like it's gonna be a one-sided relationship. And I say that because it seems like even though Brett is more outspoken, it seems like she's having more feelings than he is. Again, being more flexible than he is, even with the airplane situation. And her, I guess she was afraid of flights, or she's afraid of heights, and that's normal. That's something either you get over, you learn to get over, whatever. the fact that he said the way that she reacted. Now, we don't know how she reacted. We don't know if she was kicking and screaming or if she was just hyperventilating. We don't know how she reacted. But the fact that he said, you know, if this was just a normal date, I wouldn't date that person again. And I was like, well, now we see the problem here, Ryan. You don't give people chances to be imperfect. And it's honestly, it's a little telling as to how you are when it comes to women. That's why women are so disposable to you, because they don't get a chance to be imperfect. And it's like, well, damn, bro, like, if she's afraid of heights or if she's afraid of planes or whatever, why wouldn't that be acceptable? You know what I'm saying? You decided to take this risk, which means you're accepting the person for who they come into this relationship as. And I don't see Ryan being that open towards her because he just seems so closed off. He does not seem like he is here for this process. I have to be honest about that. So they had 2 dates on this episode, which was the massage date and the dinner date. And honestly, I feel like Ryan couldn't be more disconnected. He couldn't be more disconnected in both dates. Like, he just is just like, you know, red, green, blue, yellow. I want babies. Yeah, babies. You know, 2 babies. You know, if I could have twins, you know, that'd be a blessing. Boy, girl. You know, like, he just doesn't seem excited about life. And I don't know if he's in that grieving process, because remember, he did say that his best friend died. And I get that. But it's like, damn, you know, I feel like if that's the reason why he's so disconnected to this process, to this woman, I don't think he should have took it. I think he should have passed on it, you know, because it's like, bruh, like, you just see this very hyper, you know, Brett, who's just laughing at everything, and she's just so excited about everything that he's saying, and you just got him just slumped over. And, you know, but when he started talking about sex, he got a little lively. His octaves changed a little bit. And I was just like, huh, so you want those cheeks. You get excited about that. But you would have been ready to leave her behind an airplane, and you're not excited about anything else that you guys are discussing. Granted, they did have heavy discussions. I understand that, but there's a way to enjoy these types of dates. Like, I can't imagine being at a resort and being nonchalant about it. You know, like, I can't. So it just seems like there's more going on with Ryan than he's letting off. But it's coming out. It's you know what I'm saying? It's coming out every time he opens his mouth, or not. During the dinner date, when Ryan was talking about having kids, that's why I mentioned her being flexible. Ryan wants kids. Again, he wants a boy and a girl. If he can have twins, that'll be great. If he can just set it off like that, he'd be great. Brett mentioned that she did not see a life because of how long it's been, and how, you know, that she's at this point in her life, she didn't see kids. But for Ryan, she's willing to make that exception. And that's what I mean about her being super flexible, because having children is not lightweight. She said, I didn't want to be a single mom. I don't want to be single and have kids, which I totally understand. I don't think anybody wants to be in a relationship to procreate with somebody and to be single. I understand when you have to make that choice, but you don't go into relationships procreating with another person to be like, all right, see, you know? Like, for the most part, I know some people have a very twisted ideology of having children with other races and mixing races to have specific children, and I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about people who actually want to start a family and have their own family, and And so nobody, goes into that, and that's where she was getting at. And because of how old, not how old, but because of her age range, I'm sure she knows all the risks that and everything that goes into having a child, and how, relationships aren't really lasting. So I get it. Like, I get it. Not wanting to be a single mom. I get it. So, but the fact that she said, that she would be willing to have children in this setting, I feel like she's already giving, because I don't think he's showing up already to show her who he is outside of sex to even make a decision to procreate with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted her to be more reserved and just observe what he was saying and just be like, oh, okay, I get that. But I don't think she should have just flat out, okay, yeah, because it's you, we'll do it. And it's like, girl, no, you don't do that. And I know they're married, I got it. But that doesn't mean you procreate with them because they're married, because they still have a get to knowing period that has to happen. Anyways, I don't want to stay too stuck on them because they didn't give a whole lot. So I really had to juice this banana. Mirla and Gil. Let me drink some water before I get into Mirla and Gil. All right, so I had a whole lot to say when it came to Mirla and Gil, and I feel like the duration of everybody else has something to say about Mirla and Gil because of Mirla. When this started, I wasn't mad about Mirla because Mirla clearly is a boss. She made her own way. She made a way out of no way for herself. She got to where she was, and she's at the point in her life where she can live how she wants to live. And I love that, and I aspire to have that. But I have a problem when people, like a person like Mirla, goes into a relationship and isn't compromising. But we'll get there. They start off in the hotel room and she's talking about the food. Or no, yeah, was it the food? Yeah, she was complaining about breakfast. She was complaining about breakfast and how there was no protein on the tray, and how they gave her regular milk instead of almond milk. Very small accommodations, but in the manner that it came off, it was just like, because everybody doesn't eat the same, so I get that. And there's ways to go about that. But here's my thing. Gil is already starting to make excuses for her brat ass behavior. He says that she's very particular. She's not very particular. She is a brat. And in her own right. In her own right. But you can't be a brat at your income level and be with somebody who's not in your same tax bracket. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But he's already making excuses for it. And it's just like, oh no, Gil. And it's just like, it's one thing to be accommodating, but you're turning into a yes man. And you've been turning into a yes man since you met this woman, when y'all sat down after y'all said y'all vows and made this shit legal in the state of Texas. It's just crazy. Like, before they met, he was very precise about what he wanted. Even though he's easygoing, he was very precise about what he wanted. And it's not Mirla. Like, her lifestyle, they don't mesh up. And I think Mirla has more growing up to do, because sis, like, you're grasping at straws here. And I feel like at this point, it's kind of taking advantage of Gil's character, because he's just excusing it and excusing it and excusing it and excusing it. And you guys, and they're joking about it all the time. And it's good that she can make she can take a joke, but she's becoming the brunt of the joke every time because she won't change her behavior. Or she won't not even change, but alter or compromise with him on anything. And it's like, well, damn, you know, you don't get into a relationship for love and not compromise, because people have different reasons to get into a relationship. Some people don't want love. Some people just want security. Some people just want money. Like they want different benefits out of marriage. And I feel like when you go onto a show like this is because you want love, you know? So Gil says that he likes the fact that Mirla doesn't change because she's not gonna be fake. And it's like, there's one thing to not be fake, but not changing and having the inability to compromise is a red flag for a flourishing relationship. Everything can't go your way. And if you know, when you're in a relationship for love and you continue to give and give and give and give and give, that giving is going to take your energy, and you're going to start resenting that person because you're steadily giving with nothing in return. And like I said, these types of, you go on this type of show to find love, and you can only give so much until you say, hey, I want some back because this is why I did this process. And it's like she's not willing to give. It's one thing to not compromise like values and how you see, you know, religion or whatever, like very staple things, but she's not compromising on the smallest of things. So I can only imagine how it's gonna go forward. And it's like, damn, Mirla. But we'll get to that. So Mirla and Gil's date. They go, oh, it's too bright. They go on their first, it was a dinner date on the beach. And Gil, listen, Gil looked better. He looked better on the date than he did at the wedding, because child, he can clean up. But anyways, they go on a date and Gil immediately starts talking about kissing, because they have not had a romantic kiss. Everything has been purely platonic. And you know, Mirla, she's standing on what she's saying. I don't kiss like that. I'm not kissing a person on the first date. And she was like, you probably kiss ugly people. You probably kiss somebody the first day you know them. And I'm just like, but you just married a man in a community property state. Make it make sense for me. Now I understand that it's her body. I got it. But the fact that she's just going in on him, talking about, you know, you probably marry ugly people. I mean, you probably kiss ugly people, and but you just married a man in a community property state, sis. Help me understand. Anyway, Gil talks about the pool conversation, which we will get to. Like I said, I'm trying to do this. Just look at the timestamps. I'm gonna post the timestamps, don't worry. Gil talks about the couples when he went to the pool and she wasn't at the pool. He talks about all the couples and saying that all the couples have kissed except for them. I'm glad he was honest to an extent about the conversation that they had about the kissing and stuff, because child, Gil is a motor mouth. He is a motor mouth. So they go back to their hotel, and he has a surprise for her, and it's champagne, macaroons, flowers. It's beautiful. And she actually likes it. Shocker, because Mirla doesn't like shit. So yeah, that was nice to see her actually like something. And it was hilarious when he called her a bougie cookie. Child. So the next day, Gil planned a ski trip, sorta. It wasn't a ski trip. It was like an airplane, whatever, over the water, and which I thought was cool. But Mila immediately goes into, I get motion sickness. Okay, matter of fact, I got Google right here. I got it. Now, she says she got motion sickness, or she gets motion sickness. From what I just Googled, motion sickness happens in a car, on a train, on a plane, on a boat. Any type of transportation is when you get motion sickness. Didn't she remind us that she takes international trips, international flights, the way she likes to travel? So that would mean she gets motion sickness on these flights, which means she has the proper medication to help with the motion sickness. I call absolute bullshit on the fact that she immediately went to motion sickness, because when he told her what the surprise was, her face was the Mirla face. It was the Mirla face. Like, she wasn't impressed. She didn't want to do it. But he looked super excited about it. He's just like, he was like, so what is this? Are you going to tell me that we're not going to do it? Like, or am I doing this by myself? And of course, and not of course, but surprisingly, she says, fine, I'll do it. But I get motion sickness. And the whole time they're on the plane over the water is beautiful. And she's, I'm sick. Nothing changes. Her facial, her face complexion doesn't change. Like she doesn't look flushed or whiter in the face. She doesn't look red. She's not really moving or like trying to keep, you know what I'm saying? When you're sick or when you're getting motion sickness, because I've gotten, when I was pregnant, I can attest to this. When I was pregnant, but this was with the baby that didn't make it. When I would be in a car, I did get motion sickness. And I had to have like a little bag that I got from CVS. It was a little sick bag so that you could throw up in it. And I had kept it with me faithfully. So I just had to make sure that this applied all across with this motion sickness business. So yeah, if you get motion sickness, that means you're going to prepare yourself wherever you go, because you're going to get sick. I just believe that she just didn't want to do it. She did not see it for Gil and this, this trick that he planned out. And it's just like, well, damn, what do you want him to do? Because I feel like if he was to have this same attitude that you have, you wouldn't like him. And that's the thing that people don't understand. When you are doing your self-evaluations before you start dating, or when you're dating, or when you're in a relationship, you have to ask yourself, would I date me? And that's something I ask myself frequently. Even when I was in a relationship, I would always like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, let me look in the mirror. And I really feel like if the roles were not even reversed, if this was just a duality and this was the same person, just in a male version, there's no way she would fuck with Gil. I just don't see it. Rachel and Jose. I'm not gonna lie, guys, because of how Jose first introduced himself to us, I just prepared myself for not liking him. I'm not gonna lie. I prepared myself to not like Jose because he was super cocky. And it's one thing to be proud about what you've accomplished, because I'm all about that. I'm all about it. I don't have a jealous spirit at all. I love to see people come up. I feel like I'm an underdog. And when I have my victories or whatever, or my accomplishments, I want to talk about them too, because you should be able to. But he was just way too damn cocky. So I already knew. I was like, I already see that I'm not gonna like him. But him with Rachel, I actually like them together. Rachel's walls are way up, but with good reason. And Jose, he way too involved because, brother, why are we trying to brush somebody's teeth? It's giving very, will you be my Barbie doll? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the way he tries to justify it is, I told her I would be her provider. I told her I would be her protector. I'll be this, I'll be that. And it's like, okay, it's one thing to be those things, but not when it involves brushing my teeth. Like, do you not think I know how to brush my teeth? Like, I'm in my 30s, bro. What do you think we're doing here? So that was super weird for me. The feeding thing, I understand Rachel to a point. It has a time and a place. It's not for everything, because it does get really annoying if you just have somebody trying to shove something in your face all the time. Like if you're just having dinner, you just had a stressful last day at work, you don't want nobody doing this to you. Or if you're in front of, your in-laws or some shit and you got somebody doing this to you, like that's weird. And it's like, oh, okay, like please stop. But in a romantic situation, yes. But bruh, like there's a time and a place. But I just feel like that's one of Rachel's walls, because the 2 times that we saw, we don't know how many times it's happened after, between that time, it was in a romantic, situation. It was during the cake cutting at the wedding, and then, they had chocolate covered strawberries. Those are romantic settings where let me feed you, baby. Because she got to do it to him and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. It is kind of cute. All right, be more receptive. And I would also like Rachel to be more receptive of him wanting to take care of her financially. But I don't like when he said, okay, just hand me all of the finances in our joint account and whatever's left you can have. Because it's like, first of all, what you're not gonna do is control my money. When I was pregnant with my daughter, an accountant, she had just got married in her 30s, and she said, Crystal, do not get a joint bank account. Now, I know other people probably don't agree with that. Even my dad tells me all the time, like, don't ever get a joint bank account. My ex-fiance asked if I wanted to get a joint bank account, and my answer was hell to the fuck no. Because I've seen too much shit go down in relationships to where couples have broken up behind this motherfucking joint bank account. Like, I think that's just a human thing. Like, don't touch what I, not unless you got a billionaire and you working at Walmart. Like, yeah, hell yeah, let's have a joint bank account. Fuck it. But, and that's no disrespect to people who work at Walmart. I'm just trying to make a point. It's just like, if the pay grades are like different to the point where you can change my life, yes, like change my life for the better, yes. Let's do it, baby. You depositing your checks there, let's do it. Other than that, don't touch my damn money. We can have a joint bank account for bills, for joint bills, yeah, absolutely, but we will not have a joint bank account where my money, my whole check or whatever money I'm making is deposited into that account and you have access to it. That is a no-go for me. So yeah, I didn't like his approach there, but I appreciate him basically, saying, hey, when is your lease up? I would like you to move to my side of town, because he has homes, and then he said those homes are paid for. So they would be in a more comfortable position, which I do understand. So I do hope Rachel gets to that point. Rachel takes him on a deep sea fishing date, which I thought was super cute. It looked like Jose really enjoyed himself. And I like Rachel's efforts in that regard. Like, that is how you see someone giving in a healthy way in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was an act of service. And I loved it because it looked like it just made his whole day. And they got to bond over the experience. So again, never thought I would like Jose, but I think Rachel is making him likable. So Bao and Johnny, not a whole lot with Bao and Johnny. Well, I'm not gonna say there just wasn't as much depth to their scenes like like the other couples were, more or less. But anyways, Bao and Johnny, they're starting to get acclimated to sleeping together, and the whole thing of snoring comes up. And I get this because ever since I was a little girl, I snored. And you do get made fun of. You do, like going to sleepovers. Hell, even my family made fun of me for snoring. And it does cause insecurity. It's not a small thing because that's something you can't control. I got surgery. I got my adenoids taken out and my tonsils taken out. That the doctors told my dad that was something that was supposed to make my snoring subside. That was 17 years ago. I still snore. And being in relationships, you know, it just makes you insecure. And I get Bao when she said this is a real insecurity, because going to different places, if I had to stay overnight, I would stay up. And same here. When I would be on camping trips, when I was in Girl Scouts, I would stay up and I would be exhausted the entire trip, because you don't want to hear anybody, you know, you don't want anybody to make fun of you. And since I was the only black girl there, I was already feeling a type of way being there. So I didn't want to add on to my troubles. And, you know, doing sleepovers and stuff like that, it is an insecurity. That's something I would love to get corrected, but, okay. Bao says she's attracted to Johnny's physique. She said he reminds him of her of Conan O'Brien, I think. And I was like, Conan? But she was like, yeah, he owns his lankiness and his skin, you know. And I'm just like, all right, you know, I'm not gonna front. I had a thing for the really slender people, you know. That was my thing. Real tall, real slender. But not to that degree. I'm not even gonna front. Johnny and Bao goes on a beach date, and Johnny basically, he looks so nervous and so flustered when he told her that he had feelings, like he liked her, you know, and because he's hoping for more, you know, more intimacy between them. And she said that the feeling is mutual, but you could tell like the nervousness in his face, like he was just like you can tell he's not emotional all the time. Like that's not his go-to. You know, he's more of a logical person. And for him to even just tell her that I like you, it just seemed like a whole lot for him. And I was like, damn, Johnny, just to tell her that she, you know, I feel you. And I'm glad she told him that the feeling was mutual, because it looked like if she didn't tell him that, oh my God, can you imagine? But he just looked so nervous. And so you can tell that Johnny is the type to be in a position to where he's used to it being the other way around. Women telling him how, you know, they feel, and he doesn't have to be vocal about his emotions all the time. So I really like that Bao has put him in a state of being uncomfortable so that he can be honest about his emotions. So I appreciated that. It was a very mature conversation. Even though it was heavy for them, they handled it in such a mature and loving way. And I can't wait to see how their relationship flourishes. I want her to be more affectionate to my boy. You know, like he's really craving that, and and he's being patient, which I love, because, you know, I can't stand a man that's gonna push until you say yes. But she's gonna have to give or not be in the relationship, because damn, you can't again be in a relationship to where you just take and never give. That's super unhealthy. Like one-sided relationships are just unhealthy as fuck. And at the end of the day, once you hit your breaking point, it comes out ugly. So start now. Okay. So now I can go to the actual scenes where all the couples were together, or just these side scenes. Just pointing out a few things, and y'all just let me know down below. When Gil was asking about the couples kissing, and he was like, are y'all playing throw hockey? First of all, he needs to, if I've never heard that. So if that phrase hasn't been coined, he needs to coin the shit out of it. That was hilarious. And I'm going to be using that for the rest of my life. Throw hockey. Anyways, I feel like when Gil was talking to the rest of the couples at the, when they were sitting poolside, he was revealing too much. That's why I said Gil has a motor mouth. And he's an oversharer. Because I don't feel like if Mirla was there, she would feel comfortable. She's already a prude. And the fact that he's sitting there sharing so much information, I just don't feel like is necessary for anybody. Even Mirla, she's owed that respect for her business to not be out there like that. But I was just like, oh, Gil, it was tasteless for me. But I understand him wanting to get other perspectives as to what was going on with the other couples. I get it, but it's like, brother, what are we doing? Anyways, during the couples, conversing, Bao revealed to the little community that Johnny and Bao knew each other, and everybody's just like floored, like, oh my God, and it was a cute little scene. But one thing I did want to touch on is what Rachel said in her confessional. Rachel said that if she wasn't kissed by this point, she would feel a sense of rejection. And I get that, because I would too. Like, I'm gonna feel like you're repulsed by me if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Because we just got married. I understand we're strangers. Like, I got that part, but because of one of my love languages is affection, I will feel rejected too. Yeah, so y'all let me know down below in the comments. Starting to get my energy's going down, so, and I gotta get prepared to pick up the kids in this Texas heat. So y'all let me know down in below. Y'all like the review? Did y'all like the format? Stay tuned for those videos to come out. I'll let y'all know when they do, because I have a lot of footage. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. So happy. Continue to send me your suggestions down, since now I have time to do it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like it up. Share me, to your platforms, please, if you enjoyed this content and you made it this far. And I love you. Peace.